How's everyone? As all my HRH stars, I hope you're all okay today. Right. I want to give a special shout out to all my HRH stars. You all know who you are. I'll be here all day. But I want to thank everyone for joining me today. It's going to be, oh gosh. Hiya Shivani, you alright? Calicat, Viking Queen, Charlotte Theon. Everyone else that's joining us, thank you. Thank you so much. I hope you're all alright. Say hello to each other, give each other a love. Thank you all for joining me. Today is going to be all about mythological creatures. So, I genuinely hope that you all enjoy it. I was going to put my bikini on. Hiya, you right, babes? I was going to put my bikini on and I thought, no. I'll save that for a special occasion, probably my birthday. Anyway, right, Siobhan, you might be right there, babes, about unicorns. Have I got a doozy for you lot? Right, let's get on with the show. Hi, everyone coming in. This is day 3 of Shams Halloween special. But Halloween special is my mysteries. Okay, so everyone, if I'm missing you, I've got to get on with it because it's going to be, I don't want it to go on for too long. I'm just going to give you the origins of mythology. I'm going to give you a few examples and whether some of these creatures are actually real or not. Do you know where I'm coming from? So, you know, this ain't going to be like normal shows. This is the Sham special. And if anyone's coming in, sorry, I'm losing my voice. If anyone's coming in, can you please press the like. If you do, I don't want to force you, but I might just do some witchcraft later on. I don't know. It depends what mood I'm in, innit? Right. Are we ready? So, mythology. It's a Greek word, yeah? It's a Greek word, everyone. That's where it comes from. Mythos. Mythology. And what it means is word. No lie. It means word and it also means story. So mythology means a word or a story. And people always talk about mythology and folklore, and there's loads of things. It's like it can be an urban myth, yeah? It's mentioned a lot in literature. It's mentioned in religion. It's mentioned in science. It's mentioned in history books. Mythology is mentioned everywhere, yeah? Well, that's what it means. It's a Greek word, mythos. It does mean word, but it also does mean story. The Transformers transformed it into stories, but the originality was word. So then a myth or a mythology, it can be fake or it can be real. It depends. It's up to you. It's something that has to be proven, and it's one of them things, yeah, that back in the day, this is how it all started. A lot of people back in the day didn't know answers to a lot of things, and they needed something to grab hold of. And having a story, like a myth, was something that they could grab hold of. Do you know what I mean? And when I say a myth, it goes into a lot of different aspects and avenues. So I'm going to try and break it down for all of us so we can understand it quite easily. Right. Are we ready for Sham's lessons? Go and get a glass. If you all have the wee. Put your hands up if you want to ask a question. And while you get in the glass, everyone, I will start on it in a minute. I remember when I was younger, I've had this book before I've had my children. And my oldest is 15. And it's called The Greatest Mysteries of the Unexplained. Yeah, you lot go and get something to relax because it's going to be a bit of a quick lesson for you lot. But this is a book that I've had for years. And it can tell you, it tells you about disappearances, lost worlds. Yeah, like disappearances like Lord Lucan, Agatha Christie, USS Cyclops, Glenn Miller, Flight 19, the dinosaurs. Tells you about lost worlds like the Maya and the Aztec. Shambhala. I did disappear though, I'm still here, but it's not me. Ghostly goings on like the Age of the Pharaohs, Alcatraz, Battlefield Ghouls. Yeah, I love these kind of things. It goes on and on. I just want you lot to get relaxed. Paranormal powers, seers and oracles, mysterious monuments, religious phenomena, medical marvels, curses, weird nature, UFOs, and mysteries of the cosmos. So I've been well into these for years. So I just wanted to prove it. I'm not lying to you. And I got it at a bargain as well. $3.99. It was on sale. A bookshop that I used to go to called The Works. I hope it's still open. I used to take my kids on a regular before all this bloody crap. Because I think kids should read books, not just go on the internet. Like, read real books. You know what I mean? But anyway, so let's get on. Mythology. And with mythology, what I wanted to do was creatures and monsters. But mythology isn't just about creatures and monsters. It can be about a lot of things. And mythology comes from a lot of different places. We've got the Greek, we've got mythology like Greek myths, Aztecs, European myths, you know what I mean? Myths from the Far East like the genie and that, Native Americans, Caribbean myths, Asian myths, and that includes like not just Asians as in Indians, I mean Asians as in, like a lot of Japanese culture loves it. We've got Roman myths. We've got Celtic, Nordic. The list goes on and on. So if you know what I mean, basically everyone has got their own mythology, their own stories to tell. And what it is these stories is always asking from back in the day. It leads back, I'm not going to lie, it leads back from thousands and thousands of years ago, almost 4,000 years ago, apparently. And what they used to do was ask questions like, there's two different ways of asking about a myth, yeah? One of them is a meaning. The other one is longevity. How long is this mythology, this story going to live for? Yeah, so we've got one which is asking what is the meaning of the story, and the other one is asking how long will this story last for? Yeah, how believable is it that it will last, that we can tell our kids and our great-grandkids and our great-great-great-great-great, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so the ones that are about meaning, and this is a very sore subject because religious people get all up in arms about it and things like that. And then you got people that are into poems and poetry that get all up in arms. Are you all right? Sparkles, you all right, honey? Sorry, quick mythology lesson. Right. In mythology, there's two different meanings. Yeah? Well, there's two different things in mythology. One is what is the meaning of the story. Mythology means story. What is the meaning of the story? The second question is, how long will this story last for? So the first one, what I mean is by what is the meaning of the stories, we can ask questions like how things work, like how does the universe work? It's things that we'd ask about knowledge. It's trying to solve problems, like what's the meaning. Yeah, so it's the creation of things. I will get into this. You be thinking, what the fuck is she on about? I will get into it. I am Annie, I am everyone. I will get into it. And the other one is the how long a story can last. Yeah. Basically, that just says basically what it is. And a lot of stories are made up from even though it comes from different religions and different places, it's the same kind of creatures, things like that. And if you're thinking, what the fuck, this is what I mean. Right. A myth, a mythical creature or a mythical entity, and things like the Loch Ness Monster. Sorry, it's raining in Britain, you probably can't hear me. The Loch Ness Monster is literally like a Diplodocus. It's like a big dinosaur that lives underneath the Loch Ness. The Loch Ness is actually the name of the river in Scotland. The monster is just the monster. Okay. His name ain't Loch Ness. That's just the place. The place is called Loch Ness. The monster is called Monster. You can call him what you want. Loch Ness dickhead. Loch Ness high. Loch Ness hey do. Whatever you want to call him. Yeah. We got things like mermaids or mermans, yetis, dragons, you know, things we can't prove, fairies, witches, Bigfoots, wizards, Cyclops, gods, devils, spirits, monsters, you know, foremen in the apocalypse, all things like that. That's what I mean when I'm talking about this subject. I'm talking about those kind of things, yeah? And where did this originally come from? So, people used to make up these stories, or not just make it up, some came from the Bible as well. Yeah, some came from religions, not just my Bible, from different Bibles. Some came from Greek mythology, a lot of it Latin and Greek, a lot of it. But a lot of it was Japanese. We had Celtic ones, like I said. We've got a lot of different stories from everywhere. Like when you think of fairies, who do you think of? Like, do you know where I'm coming from? When you think of dragons, you don't think of dragons in Europe. Do you know what I mean? You're going to think of the Japanese, innit? When you're thinking of fairies, you're thinking of the Irish and that, leprechauns. Do you know where I'm coming from? But where do all these stories come from? There's something behind all these stories. And this is where I'm coming to explain, okay? Right. Another thing before we go into this, which we need, it's not that long. Folklore is different from mythology. Mythology is like something that could be like a sacred text, something that you have to prove that existed. We don't know whether it existed or not. A folklore is just a small fish in the sea. A folklore is just a storytelling tale. It's just like, oh, you know, the moral of the story is blah, 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 blah. That's a folklore. Completely different to mythology. Mythology, we don't know whether it's true or not. Mythology can be a moral of a story, or it can be something that is actually true and we've seen and we don't know how to describe it. So the best way to describe it is to just call it a myth. We call it a myth because we don't know whether it's true or not, like UFOs. Right. So we've done that. So I'm going to tell you some of my favourite ones, yeah. My favourite mythological stories. There's a few of them. And like I said, like, everyone's heard of Bigfoot and Yeti, haven't they? But I don't want to talk about Bigfoot and Yeti because everyone's heard about them. Bigfoot is apparently, it's like a man, but he's big, isn't he? Obviously. And he's hairy like a gorilla. Yeti is like the frozen version of him. Do you know what I mean? Imagine Elsa. Simple ways of putting it. So you got Bigfoot, he's the one that's in the forest. And you got Yeti, he's the frozen one. Right. But that ain't the one that's amazed me. I got one that I found. I got one. It's from Australia. It's Australian, the flaming galah. This one's called a Yowri. A Yowri. It's from Australia. Yeah. This one, apparently, people said that they've actually seen it. And it was first recorded in Sydney in 1790, a Yeri. The reason I like this one is because it's bigger than a Yeti and it's bigger than Bigfoot. Apparently, this mofo is 10 to 15 foot tall. I mean, I'm 5'2". This mofo is like twice to 3 times the size of me in height. He's tall. He's like, if I see him, I don't think I'll be like boxing him across the face. I'll be like, you're right. I'll be over there. I'll see myself out. Bye. You know what I mean? He's big. He's normally found in northern Queensland. Yeah. In Australia. Northern Queensland. I don't know where that is. You'll have to Google it, mate. But if you want to find where this one is, it's called a Yowri. Yeah? Spelled Y-A-O-I, but it's Yowri. And it's an Australian Bigfoot. There you go. And the worst thing is, this mofo blends in the background, so you can't even see him. He blends in the background, and apparently he's been recorded as attacking people. Right, the next one that I'm going to move on to, one of Sham's amazing one, is a Jordan Gondor. Jordan Gondor is a big mofo snake. This one's one of my favourites because apparently it wraps itself, it's as big as the whole world. Now I'm thinking this is a fake one. I'm thinking this is just a legend and a tale. Because I can't see anything, but apparently it lives underground. A Jordan Gondor. And it's as big as the whole world. And it's a snake-like creature. Then we got Banshee. I love Banshees. Now, I thought a Banshee was a creature. I'll tell you why. Because my mum keeps saying, will you shut the fuck up? That's what my mum used to say to me. She says, you keep going on, you're like a fucking banshee. So I thought it was an animal that just kept banging on and on and on. You know, wouldn't shut up, like a hyena. But a banshee is supposed to be a creature that screams death. So what it will do, it will scream at you. To tell you that someone in your family is going to die. Yeah. And sometimes it screams out loud that it can kill you. Do you know what I mean? That's a banshee. But some people say it's evil, but some people say it's like a guardian angel that protects your family because they're giving you pre-warnings. The scream is called a keening or a carn. C-A-I-R-N. A carn. A keening. But yeah, banshees, I love them. Apparently they sing heavenly songs to you as well. But they are that nice because these songs are like death songs, like, oh, you're gonna die. Ooh, bye-bye. Right, next one. Succubus. Of course, I'm gonna like a succubus. It's Meghan Markle, innit? A succubus is an entity. Remember, if you watch my goals program, you know what an entity is. A succubus can be anything. An entity can be anything. It doesn't have to be a human. It can be an angel, anything. It can be a devil. It can be a creature. It can be anything. As long as it can move. It's not a dead plant. Well, a plant has got life in it. So, yeah. So, succubus, they change into women. Succubuses do, yeah? And they lure men into their little lair and suck life out of them. Then we got Medusa. I love Medusa. Who don't like Medusa? She's one of my favourites, and I'm telling you the stories of these because these are showing you different kinds of stories from around the world. Do you know what I mean? So Medusa, she's a Greek one. She's one of three sisters. Everyone knows the story of Medusa. She's got snakes in her hair. The reason was Poseidon raped her. Yeah? And he raped her. No lie. Motherfucker. Right, in the Temple of Athens. Poseidon raped her in the Temple of Athens. Then, well, the fairies are from Ireland, so they say, but the fairies are actually from everywhere. I love the stories of fairies, but that's a different one. I'll come back to that. Poseidon raped Medusa in the Temple of Athens. Athens is a Greek goddess. When she found out she got jail, instead of blaming Poseidon, she blamed Medusa. And Medusa was a very pretty girl. So she made Medusa look like a haggard old woman and turned her hair into snake. Medusa went to Africa. And then we all know that Perseus chopped off Medusa's head because Medusa got bitter because of her looks. So she got bitter inside as well as outside. So she looked as ugly inside as she did on the outside. See, that's a moral. Don't rely on beauty. But it wasn't her fault he got raped, didn't he? Do you know what I mean? So blame Poseidon. He's a dirty bastard, that one. I thought he was alright. Turns out he was a dirty fucker. And they said that's why Africa has a lot of snakes. Because Medusa moved to Africa. Yeah? And when he chopped off her head, all the snakes fell on the ground. And that's why Africa has got a lot of poisonous snakes. Right, let's move on to another one. Mermaids. I love mermaids. Please like, subscribe, share if you do like my content. Mermaids, yeah. They was found from, it was literally the Babylonian age, 4,000 years ago. But people have said that mermaids could be Dugan creatures. There's a thing called Sailor's Mirage. It's a bit like when you're in the desert and you got the mirage when you start going all wonky, like you're high off drugs. If you want to know what a mirage is like, it's like being high or drunk or having too much coffee. That's like a mirage. And you ain't had nothing to eat. Yeah. So, yeah, that's like a mirage. So, anyway, mermaids. It was literally from two poems from Greek mythology as well that really brought them into the forefront. But before mermaids, we had sirens. Them are the ones that used to lure men into the sea. But sirens wasn't what you think. You know, all long blonde hair. Nah. There was half bird, half human. So they had the body of a bird and a face of a human. Is that why we call birds? No lie. But mermaids, we know, are fish. And, you know, some are evil, some ain't. But there was a merman called Titan. And he had the Tritanians. They're the mermen of the sea. But there's another one as well. He was Poseidon's son. But there was another one, and I ain't got time for all that because I've just been here all day. But let's move on to something else. What do you lot think about vampires? Who believes in vampires? Because I want to talk about all these mythological creatures that can be true. Now, of all the mythological creatures you lot can think of, which one do you think has been proven to be true? I'm going to start off with some of them. Aquaman. No lie. Swear down, Poseidon's son, yeah. No, it wasn't Poseidon's son. It was Persephone. She's the one that had nymphs and handmaidens. She's the one that made sirens and got bitter. But yeah. Titan, yeah. Oh, he was Poseidon's son. He become a manfish. And they called him the musical fisherman. And they call these mermans tritony. It sounds like trannies. They didn't call them trannies. It's tritonies. OMG. Sounds like trannies. Oh, gosh. Did I just go there? I did. I'll have to get over it. But anyway, I'm going to tell you about the ones that have been proven to be real. The first one I'm going to start off with is in a complete different category. Because I was thinking, are these real? Nah, fuck off. Well, the first one that I'm going to tell you about is vampires. Now, nobody believes vampires are real, do they? We all know what a vampire is. Don't we? I don't really need to explain, do I? Because fucking hell, it's late. So, there is actually something that went around back in the day. And it's a disease. It's called porphyria. Porphyria. This ain't no lie. And it's called a vampire disease. It's very, very rare. Apparently, it started in Transylvania because people that used to live in the little hamlet villages, yeah, people that lived in the hamlet villages, they used to inbred. They used to sleep with the brothers and sisters, basically. You know what I mean? Do incest and shit like that. Mom and dads and shit, sleeping with the kids and all that crap, yeah. So there was a lot of inbreeding, and apparently it caused this disease called porphyria. And porphyria, what it did was it receded your gums. So you know how vampires have got only them two teeth. And it also made your skin, it purifies, it brings pure things, like dirty things, into your bloodstream. And when the sun used to hit your skin, it used to blister. So it used to cause blisters. So they used to have bad teeth. You know what I mean? They was all inbred, so they look like vampires anyway. And then they couldn't go out in the sun. So, you know, when Bram Stoker wrote Vampires, I know it was in Ireland where he wrote it, but maybe there's a bit of truth in that. So, you know, and then I'm going to tell you about, I think it was Siobhan that says unicorns are real. Well, Siobhan, you are right. Unicorns are real. I'm going to tell you about some creatures and monsters, yeah, that I found that are mythological, that are actually proven to be real. So are you ready, people? Right, number one, the unicorn. It's a Greek word. Unicorn means one. Well, it's supposed to be Latin. Uni means one people. Bio means, well, mono or uni means one. Bio means two. Yeah. Tri means three. It depends on the Latin, Greek, whatever. I can teach you all that crap another day. But uni is one, it's Greek, yeah? So anyway, it was first brought up by an author, a Greek author called Satish. He wrote about it, yeah? And it was like, everyone was laughing about it, going, oh, he's chatting crap. But it turns out that it was found in India. Everyone thought it was a rhino, but a unicorn has been found in India, people. Not quite India. It's called a Siberian unicorn. And this is the truth. The fossils was found. It's 4 meters long. It weighs 4 tons. And it's 1.8 meters tall. And it's got a furry coat, and it's got 1 horn, but it is part of the Rhinoceros family. But it is classed as a unicorn. It's a Siberian unicorn. So yes, unicorns did exist. They're not quite the unicorns that we've got, like Rainbow Dash and that, you know, on My Little Pony, that kind of, it's not, none of that. They're not cute. These are small mammals, like rhino mammals. So anyway, but yeah, Siobhan, my sexy little Casper, you was right. Right, next one. Does anyone watch Game of Thrones? Anyone on here? I don't watch it, but I've got a little fun fact for you. If anyone watches Game of Thrones, you'd have heard of something called the Direwolf. If you have, I will tell you what the Direwolf is. It's true. The Direwolf is supposed to be like a big wolf. Yeah? And it's predominantly in a lot of Game of Thrones things, apparently. Don't know, don't watch it. I just researched it. Yeah. So, you might have heard of the Direwolf. Direwolf, yeah? Oh, well, sorry. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but apparently there's a Direwolf in it. And it's a lot of the creatures. It's supposed to be a fake character, but apparently it's not fake. It's real. The Direwolf did actually exist. It was around 250 to 10,000 years ago when it existed. We have found the fossils for the Direwolf. But the big difference between the Direwolf is it weighs 200 pounds. So it's not like a normal wolf. It weighs 200 pounds. Yeah? But it's got a smaller brain than our normal wolf. So this mofo ain't doing shit to you. Just this stupid. Yeah? No lie. And where we found it was found in Libria. It was like a tar pit. And the reason that we found it in the tar pit was because the motherfucker, a tar pit, tar, T-A-R, pit. It's like tar, and it's a big pit full of tar. It was searching for animals. So when it was searching for the animals, it went down into the tar pit and got stuck. And then years later, we found the fossils. So yeah, they do exist. The skulls are bigger than our wolves, but the brains are smaller. Boom, and they weigh 200 pounds. Next thing, we got the Commodore Dragon. I think a lot of people know that exists because a lot of people have got them as pets, yeah? But they can grow up to 8 foot long. It was first discovered in 1910, the Commodore Dragon. All it is, it's like a big lizard. So I'm going to quickly move on. Then, I don't know if any of you lot have heard of Bunyip. Bunyip. It's like an Australian Loch Ness. It's an Aborigine legend. Yeah. And it's to do with like spirits. It's supposed to be half horse, half crocodile. It's called the Bunyip. But apparently they discovered it in 1839 and it was a dinosaur called the Diprotodon. So the Bunyip is real as well. Next one, the Basilisk. I don't know if you've read Harry Potter. I'm a big Harry Potter fan. I love Harry Potter. And the Basilisk is like a big snake, but it's half snake, half bird. I think it is a bird, yeah. Half snake, half bird. I know, half of these are just hybrids of one thing mixed with another. They're all mixed race, innit? They're mixed race. So, I'm telling the truth. The Basilisk, they said that back in the day, because of science being unknown, people could have got the Basilisk wrong and just mixed it up, yeah, with a cobra. Because a cobra is a poisonous snake and is hooded. A Basilisk is known as one of the most deadliest mofos. He hates human beings, hates them, just hates them, and kill you with a stare. A bit like me. Yeah, that's what Basilisk do. And yeah, they breathe fire. But people have said that they've described it as a cobra because cobras have got hoods and they spit venom. So back in the day, they didn't know how to describe it because, you know, they can spit for far like. So people have said that the basilisk is actually a cobra because it does look like a bird when the hood of his head comes out. So we don't know about that one. Then we got two more here. Oh, we got three because we got the Hobbit. That one was found in Indonesia in a cave. And it was 3 foot tall, the Hobbit. So apparently that is real. It was found in Indonesia. We've also got the Cyclops. Everyone knows the Cyclops is the one-eyed monster. They actually found that one. And they said that the Cyclops is actually a dwarf elephant. I know. You couldn't make this shit up. I'm not lying. Dwarf elephant. And the reason is dwarf elephants have only got one eye. And I'm a vampire empath. This is the truth. The Cyclops, the Greek mythological tale of the Cyclops, might not be human beings. Apparently, it really is supposed to be dwarf elephants. They've got one eye there, and it's supposed to be for the nasal cavity, so they can breathe. And the eye socket is there, navel cavity is there, and blah, blah, blah. I'll have to go into that another day. But yeah, apparently Cyclops ain't real. They are real, but they're dwarf elephants. And the reason we know this is because, yet again, like I'm going to say, we found the fossils. Right. We found them. If you want to know, it was in some Cyprus, in some caves. That's where we found them. Right. The next one, last but not least, is the Krakers. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's like a big sea monster. It's supposed to be absolutely enormous. It's like a fucking octopus. And what it does when people are on long sea journeys, this thing just comes out and it just encapsulates all of the ship and it just sinks all the crew. You know what I mean? This big, massive sea monster. But we found out that this sea monster might not be a sea monster after all. No. Apparently, we found one. It was first written about in 1180, yeah? And it was supposed to be half a mile in size. This sea monster, half a mile, is massive. It's absolute. I don't even know what half a mile is. I don't know what a mile is. But I'm guessing half a mile is like big, innit? Turned out it was a colossal squid. Mad, innit? It was a colossal squid, people. So, that is my research. It was found in the Antarctic, in the deep sea. And the colossal squid ain't like a normal squid or, you know, a gigantic squid. We've all heard of a gigantic squid and we know that they can grow massive, like, you know, 20 foot and that. But a colossal squid is like as big as a sheep. It's like massive. It's like bigger than Oprah's fucking list on her menu of double fried chicken. Do you get me though? Hashtag standard. So, that is, Shams. Have I done everything that I needed to do? Oh, okay, I have, yeah. I have all. What was that one? Who's that? Glorious. Oh, he was a merman. We don't need to know about him. He was a merman. He was a fisherman. And he had some magical herbs. I could go on all day about this bloody thing, you know what I mean? That was a Jason and the Argonauts one. But anyway, that was Sham's mythological tales. I could have gone on about fairies and things like that, but I think them are things that people know. The fairies, I did want to give them a bit of justice. Apparently, you can do these spells to try and get fairies. You're going to do this thing, yeah. And you're going to go somewhere and you're going to say the fairy's name. You're going to turn around 9 times. But if you go into fairyland, you might not come back. And fairies can be nasty. They ain't got no heart. Apparently, they're falling. And in Ireland, mate, they believe in it. That don't even mention the word. They call them little people. Now, if I was in Ireland, I think they was on about me, innit? Because I'm a fucking midget. I'd be like, you're chatting about me, though. But nah. I'm on about fairies, mush. But I like them. But be careful what you wish for. Right, everyone, I do hope that you liked my mystical show. Join me for tomorrow night on the Halloween Mystery Day 4. And don't forget Saturdays Unleashed. Like, subscribe, share. If you want any of Sham's merch, it's down below. If you want to donate for me doing all the research, keep the channel going, it's down below. You can buy me a Dr. Pepper or a research book. It don't matter. Either. Or just be here tomorrow. Like, subscribe and share. I hope this information was very good for all of you and you enjoyed my show. Have a good evening, night or afternoon, morning. Take care, everyone.